Next up, at UFC Vegas 98, I believe this is the featured prelim of the evening. We have Chidi Njokuani taking on Jared Gooden. Chidi Njokuani, 23-10 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off the decision win over Rhys McKee. Taking on Jared Gooden, 23-9 in his career. He's coming off his first UFC win in 3 years. Chidi Njokuani's good. Much better than his record. You're going to see 10 losses. He's much better than that. He's a very good striker. He's got good speed, good power, good distance control. Not high volume, but he does stick and move really, really well. His feet are never in the same place for long, and people have a hard time getting to him. If you are able to get inside the reach, close that distance, you might be able to take him down and have some success there. He's coming off that win over Rhys McKee, where he looked great at 170 pounds. That was his debut at 170. And he threw a ton of leg kicks, more than we have ever seen him do before. He's taking on Jared Gooden. This guy's explosive as hell. He's got power in his hands, good takedowns. He's not great anywhere, but his power, his speed, his athleticism have afforded him some success in the UFC. He's a very dangerous guy who has had a tricky run because he was cut from the UFC in 2021 after going 1-3. Then he went 4-1 on the regional scene, came back to the UFC, and now he is 1-1. He's coming off that underdog win over Wellington Turman, where the power and the athleticism were pretty impressive. I still think Chidi dominates here. If he threw more, I would be all over him. If I could trust Chidi to move forward and be high volume, then he'd be in the safety parlay. I can't necessarily trust him to do that because sometimes he is a little too hesitant, but I do think he wins this fight. A slow start might be an issue. He'll have to weather a storm. But overall, I think he hits harder. I think he's faster. I think he's more technical. If he brings out those leg kicks, that'll certainly take away the movement and the speed from Jared Gooden. So Chidi's going to be the pick here, but the first 5 minutes are going to be pretty sketchy. What do you think, Jakey Boom Balatz?
I agree with the pick. I disagree with the analysis. I actually like the fact that Chidi coming down to 170 was kind of that slower pace against Rhys McKee, because Jared Gooden is a guy that will get you in trouble. He's a hittable guy. You can rock this guy, but he typically is a pretty durable guy, and that's what Wellington got in trouble with. He thought like, oh, I'm hurting this guy. Let me try and knock this guy out. Then he got rocked, and Chidi is known before as being those blow your load, almost get the knockout, and then all of a sudden he's just tired, and then he's just getting finished. I mean, you saw that versus Ola Jacek. He thought he had hit that guy finished. He ended up getting finished himself. Same thing with Gregory Rodriguez as well, against a hittable guy, Gregory, who just kind of out-toughed him in that situation. So if Chidi comes in and thinks the old Chidi style of, oh, this guy's a hittable guy, I'm just gonna blow my load, he could run into some issues here. I think the only person that can beat Chidi here is Chidi. If he just kind of comes in and is just kind of methodical and pointing from the outside, Jared Gooden's not going to kind of blitz him and put him in any situation. Jared Gooden's going to also be kind of that methodical pace, and Chidi should be able to win a point fight, hurt this guy, and maybe put him away. Just wait for the knockout to kind of find itself. But you have to expect, if you're Chidi, you have to expect that Jared is going to be there for all 15 minutes, and you cannot blow your load in the first 5 and then hope to survive, because if you start getting hurt, Jared does have power. And the crazy part is Jared's only 30 years old. I mean, Chidi now at 35, is he going to start slowing down? Is the weight cut going to be a little bit tougher? Jared's got a lot of experience, been out of the UFC, been in the UFC at only 30 years old. He could still be improving. This could turn into a weird fight. But Chidi, I think the only person that beats Chidi here is Chidi. If he comes in and is that Muay Thai striker with the front kicks and the hands and kind of just takes his time, I think he can hurt this guy over 15 minutes and win the decision. But if he starts acting like the old Chidi and tries to finish this guy, you can find an interesting situation. But I'm going Chidi here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. This guy said 35-year-old moving down in weight ain't it. He moved down in weight last fight, and he looked great. So that's a weird narrative to put out there. $8,600 in DraftKings Fantasy. I think I'll spend it. It's a little risky because, to your point, Jared does wobbled, but he does stay on his feet and can be durable. We watched Chidi almost finish Gregory Rodriguez just to get finished shortly after that.
Same with Ola Jacek, too. He had Ola Jacek hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So Chidi is a very dangerous guy that could end this, or Jared could weather a storm and turn this on its head, which is why I think the odds are sort of staying in this range, and Chidi hasn't taken off to anything beyond this. But we're both on the Chidi side. I think I'm going to shoot my shot at the $8,600 in DraftKings Fantasy. I think he might be able to find a finish certainly a little bit later. And if you do want to check out all of our picks, all of our bets, and Artem's as well. Artem absolutely crushes the Contender Series. I guess he crushed tonight's. I didn't watch it. I didn't see his picks, but I guess he crushed tonight's. But his UFC picks are very good as well. And when you become a premium member, you see my picks, Jacob's picks, Artem's picks, and the Artificial Intelligence picks all lined up nice in a row so you can see where we agree, where we disagree. Then we have our top plays listed out, all of our bets, everything. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it's only $10 for an entire month. $5 super chat from Gold Coast Kombucha.
Ooh.
Shout out to Artem. I parlayed all his KO picks and just won $182 off of 6. These guys are the truth.
6. Oh, Billy.
Grass isn't greener with lucrative cappers. We're $10 a month. Imagine spending 10 times that for worse picks and bets.
You just got a year and a half worth of premium off a $6 bet.
There you go. We appreciate you and your support. Damn, I guess Artem did crush this card. A lot of love for Artem right now in the comments.
Oh,
And what's
really?
so funny is every time Artem uploads a video now, I don't know if it's the same person or different people comment, Kutalaba by sub, never forget. Like trolling him for that pick. And Kutalaba
I don't think it
almost
was.
won.
Well, I don't think it's a troll. I think it's like, oh, you almost hit that shit.
Oh, I thought it's making fun of him. Like, what a bad pick.
No, how can you make fun of him? Though we almost won. He almost made me
I don't know. It's the internet.
$2,200 off the fucking Kutalaba sub bet. I don't think it's a
Yeah, I
troll.
mean,
I
maybe
think
it
it's
is.
like a. I think
It
it
might
literally is like a oh man, like oh shit, you almost had that.
We
shit.
almost had it. It could
You
be.
almost had that. That was almost a call of the fucking century.
I don't read sarcasm in comments. I assume the comments are mean and not sarcastic. So I usually
Because I
react
mean, literally logically,
accordingly.
like you said, it doesn't make any sense to. How can you troll
Troll him
that?
for
I
it.
mean, it fucking.
Yeah, but
it was a
you
plus
can't-
2,200 bet that fucking should have fucking hit.
You can't apply logic. Somebody told you that the Aldo pick was the worst lock of the week you've ever had after we saw the fight and got the decision. You can't apply logic to the comments. They're not all logic.
It is funny in the comments. 0-2. Oh, when will you learn?
Yeah.
Like, 0-2. Okay. Well,
Yeah. Zoom out just a couple of weeks. And you could argue Aldo won that
and
fight.
suck this fucking cock, you fucking losers.
And also, if you watch my recap video, and I filmed that at 2 in the morning, right after the fights, I was like, I really think, Mario Batista won that fight. I went back based off of the feedback Jacob was giving in the text messages. I watched it again the next day, just that third round. You didn't need to watch the first 2. I just watched the third round again, and I was like, all right, you're right. Mario didn't do shit. He did hold him against the cage, but as you guys have pointed out many times, that doesn't mean anything.
And somebody tagged me in Discord too. It was like, Jacob's coping all week. I haven't even, I made that one tweet about, and that was not even about the Aldo fight in general. That was about, the Mike Bell tweet was about fucking the Raquel fight. It was about the fucking
everything.
Lucindo fight. It was whatever. I've been very like, what are you going to do? I don't fucking complain about shit. It's like, it is what it is.
We had another super chat, $5 from Mookie. Artem got every method of victory and the round.
That's
Holy
crazy.
shit. So he picked all the fighters correct, how they would finish, and what round they were going to finish. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Good job, Artem. Our little Rain Man. Our
Good
little
job,
New
Artem.
Zealand Rain Man. Artie.
Oh, I love rain.